Okay. So we are going to do the dumb strategy.
That's good for
Which,
us.
yes.
Feast is down.
Which is basically we do the first two phases same as normal, but the third phase where the tide mistresses pop up and you have the myrmidon and everything, we ignore both tide mistresses and we cleave down the myrmidon, but we don't do anything special to it. Everything is focused on damaging the boss. And then in the last phase, the tide mistresses will still be up and we will still be ignoring them, and we will be burning the boss instead, you know. And the goal is to basically kill the boss before all the whatever the what are they called,
Wards
the
of
wards, yeah,
Thingies.
all the wards before the wards run out. So that's your timer, because the tide mistresses will be draining their wards and also be empowering the outer wards when she does the greater reversal of fortune. When she switches the purple one in the middle, it makes all the outside ones purple and the inner one yellow. The reason that it works is because that's basically two separate sets of wards, so nothing carries over every time she switches. So you really have two sets of yellow wards, two full health pools of yellow wards to work with, provided you go into the phase with nothing or with everything full. And so it gives you a little more time than it would on normal, of all places, weirdly. But so what will happen is there will be two wards that each have two of the three wards will have a tide mistress on them. So we will ignore those and we will have the boss next to the third one, which does not have a mistress. And then when she does the greater reversal and makes the outside ones all purple and the inside one yellow, we move her to the middle and we will recharge the middle ward and ignore the three outer ones. And it also means that damage will ramp up later in the fight because nobody's going to be putting a lot of effort into draining the purple wards. And that's kind of the race.
Note that it won't always be the center one, but yes.
And then the only other thing that you really need to be aware of, let's see, is the purple ward. That when she does the greater reversal the first time, she takes, you know, at the beginning the three outside ones are yellow and the middle one's purple, and sometimes she'll swap around the one of the yellow ones for the purple one and then swap it back. When she does the greater reversal, it'll be when the three outside ones are yellow and the middle one is purple. Whatever the purple one has at that time will be the starting energy of the three outside purple ones after she does the reversal. So keeping that middle ward at absolutely zero is important. And the only things that can charge it up are the little ads and the Indomitable. So if our DPS is good, we can skip the Indomitable completely, but getting the little ads down fast enough is down to our like grouping up and CCing strategy. So how that's we've been doing so far is they run to the middle. You don't slow them you don't do anything to them while they're running to the middle. Once they're in the middle, Brasmus does the Gorfine to pull them all to one side, and then you can slow CC, you know, them whatever. And so what I would recommend is we do that, right? They group up in the middle, they all get gripped to one side, they're stunned and CC'd and whatever. And then once those stuns roar off and they run back into the middle and start their cast, you ring of peace them once, it knocks them out, and then they can't get in for a little bit. And then they'll, you know, eventually the ring of peace wears off and then they run in again. Then you can ring of peace them a second time if we have a second one. But I'm thinking that if we, you know, if we do that all correctly, one ring should be enough to kill all of them.
I'll take first ring. So it'll be grip, throw out a stun, and then put ring down when the stun is done.
Do you have
Yeah, it'll
ring,
be-
Cal?
Yes.
Can
it'll
they
be-
be can they be stunned?
Yes. They can be stunned and slowed and everything. So you want to use whatever you have, anything you have.
People have
But
been stunning them.
I mean, I can
stuns have-
kick them.
You should be doing that too, but the stuns have diminishing returns, so eventually they become unstunnable, but displacements I'm pretty sure don't. So you can ring a piece them forever and typhoon them and I don't know. Thunderstorm, is that still an ability?
So what am I ring of piecing?
The little ads that all run into the middle, the devoted
Keep
guy.
them from going into the middle like this. Put the ring
Okay.
piece here, right?
So they're gonna run to the middle. The first time when they run to the middle, you don't do anything because Brasmus is gonna grip them out, and you want them to all be in the same place. Because if you ring of peace when they're first running in, then they'll all get bounced out in different directions because they're all coming from different directions. But once you've gripped them to one side, they'll all be going in the same direction, so they'll all get bounced out in the same direction and be easier to AoE.
Okay.
All right, but so our focus should be right now is getting to phase 3 when the sisters come out. We should try to get there with no deaths from decree and full power to all wards.
I have a question about Beacon.
Mhm.
You mentioned we need to make sure we, that we're in the right positioning for Beacon. Once it's started on you, can you fight it at all, or are you just automatic?
Once you're controlled and you start running to the middle, you can't do anything. So it has to be when you see the boss mod timer for Beacon ticking down. If you're ranged, you need to be moving towards the edge of the room or away from the boss in the phases where she's down. But in the first phase, it's running to the middle of the room, so you just need to be away from the middle.
Yeah, and then priority if we're in one of the groups that's training a ward, and that timer's about to expire, we can keep even though we're near the boss.
Sorry, could you repeat that?
Oh, the draining the wards, that, we do that group by group. And so if you're in the group that's training a ward and we see that it's about to be the second timer, we just keep training.
No, you should run out for the Beacon. Although it should be, if we're recharging a ward, it should be one of the outside ones, since the middle one is the purple one. So you should already be in a decent position. But if you should take the few extra steps out, because if it targets you, you'll be safe, and if it doesn't target you, you can just run back into the ward and grab your last couple stacks, and that shouldn't be a big difference.
Okay. So
Let me
very bad
rearrange
idea
this.
to do a speed boost after it starts.
Yes, you do not want a speed boost after it starts, after it says it's targeting you, because the cast time is very short. So unless you can do like a disengage or like a leap or something like that, because that's just instantaneous. But anything that gives you a speed boost for an extended period of time, or like a form shift or ghost wolf or anything like that, you don't want to do.
I'm Elisand, you guys.
Oh, I'm jealous. I like being Elson.
I'm Seraphine, and I'm a spectacular dancer.
Among you is devoted? Are you up to the challenge?
Well, really boring panda mug. I might have to turn it off because I changed into a new slut mug and I'd rather wear that.
Oh, good. I'm emo lady. Panda that says, "We know only despair now, a fitting punishment for our failure."
For the spear in phase 3 and 4, I guess we just shoot
Point
it
it out,
out to
yep.
the outside.
Same
and-
as the spear in phase 1. You just ignore the shields and everything.
I actually got a
Oh, did we
platinum
do
whetstone
a
from the Bleach
cauldron?
We did.
Oh, I don't have any.
Somebody had to get an extra. Who has alchemy?
Wait, who needs it?
Tay needed one.
Taymart.
Thank you, I got one.
What about Ventus runes? Did you do those on Tuesday?
No, and
We
we
did not.
don't have any, so we.
Let's do it.
Any feel for what the DPS requirement is doing it for a method?
Yes. So if you guys all average about 30k for the fight, we should be fine. And people weren't doing that on our last attempts, but that's also with deaths and no bloodlust and not having a lot of time on the boss because everybody was dying. So I'm hoping that in not.
Oh my god.
I'm hoping that by focusing the boss, we can get those tunneling numbers.
I think we can down bosses on hope alone.
Thanks, Mary.
I'm kidding. We're gonna die.
Quick question: Where is when is the bloodlust again?
Bloodlust is as soon as the last phase starts. So not when the time mistresses first come up, but when we get her to whatever percentage it is that makes her go into it.
All right, got it.
We still have to do the console though.
Yes, and that will be handled by the off tank because there's no tank swap mechanic in the last phase. And I presume that Zutter will be doing the console.
Yeah, I can do console.
Okay. So
Yes.
Brasmus should be the only one tanking the boss in the last phase, and Zutter will still take damage because she'll be taking the console stacks, but that's different from tank damage.
Don't kill him. He still needs the buffs.
Oh.
It's an unstable affliction.
Wait, did you raise swap, Savage?
No.
How are you a troll now? How is this happening? Are you hiding because you did?
He did race swap.
Whatever, I approve.
No, he needs to be able to dispel.
I don't really do keys anymore, so
Alright.
it's like, whatever.
Let's try these groups 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the 2 tanks, and we'll see how it goes. Oh, I gotta put up markers for decrees. Hang on. So we're gonna have solo soakers go towards the console side, which is, and the group soakers will congregate around yellow. But there was some chart that showed it. Hang on.
On the decrees, you can either have to soak on your own or soak with another person.
Is that because of decrees, you said?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
If you're a group soaker, you might get kicked out of your circle by a solo soaker because sometimes there's not enough circles on the diamond side. So sometimes all the group guys just end up on one. But
We have
You'll see.
19 people, right? So that would be 2 solo soakers and 6 group soakers, which means that if there's more than 3 orbs, right, then somebody else who's not, like, you'll have to either split up the group soakers into more than one stack. Somebody who has a decree combo that doesn't require them to avoid soaking will have to stand in orb. So just because you don't have a actually soak an orb decree doesn't mean that you can't, help soak, as long as you don't have the one that says absolutely do not soak an orb. But we can take some practice and we'll see. Yeah.
I call the curse
Oh shit, I didn't even see that.
enter the stage.
What are we doing already?
I guess we're doing it.
Yet their gaze
I can't do damage, which is fucking total.
Click it off.
Wish there was a count.
There was.
Already checked that was right.
There is no power I cannot defile.
Lightning Horse. Overzealous Hulk.
Big guy's going towards red. We're gonna burn him.
Cold Blast. Ground Ice Shard. Overzealous health. Cold
And then
blast.
group 1 go ahead and soak the console ward.
Arcane orb.
Arcane orbs.
Freeze heart.
Group 1, make sure you soak the console.
Lightning heart. Cold blast. Freeze heart. Long range shot.
I need you.
Long
Show
range.
yourself.
The heck hit me there?
Probably a lightning orb.
Cold blast.
Yep. 131 and 51 right.
Pop.
Overzealous
Big guy.
Flame
I can't
flare.
pop. I'm in purple. They're way too clear.
Torment. Cold blast. Infuriated.
There is no
Ground
power
pound.
I cannot defile.
Overzealous health.
What are you waiting for?
You'll be fine. You won't die immediately. Just pop.
These things never go away.
You are
Queen's
mine.
decree.
Fair enough.
See?
Oh.
God damn it.
Queen's
Yeah,
decree.
you guys really need to listen to me more.
Practice your soak.
Some of the solo soakers need to get over there. You're in the soak group. Get on the one thing in the soak group of soaking. You should not. You got all you people with purple need to be together.
Let me show you my power. Protectors, come to my aid.
Beckon's coming.
Kneel before your queen.
Devoted are coming in 5 seconds. Let's practice our fancy AoE.
No stunning. That was a stun.
Yeah, they didn't get stunned before I gripped him.
Peace now.
Soon to be broken.
Looks like some of them got their cast off.
Where's old?
The voids bend to my will.
Reversal of fortune.
Blue needs group 2.
Destruction.
We'll do it after this.
Group 1 should soak blue too.
Yeah.
Orb looks dead.
Oh no, we didn't have to move her. It just got killed because nobody soaked it.
Yeah, it looks like that's like game over.
I thought it got reversal.
Unworthy of greatness. Not possible. I was destined to win. An attack.
Goodbye,
Another
Zodger.
heart soon to be broken. He was wrong. You have proven yourselves unworthy.
If we're a little quicker on that first phase, we can get it before a second crusher spot, and we won't have to deal with that at the same time as the decrees.
I mean, there's a decent amount of time between the two.
So we're not soaking the.
We are soaking in the first phase.
Confused. I'm really
didn't
confused
call
by
that out.
what's.
That's
We
just at
play-
the end.
Everything that we're doing in these first 2 phases is exactly the same as we've been doing so far.
So
there's
you're
no
not
change.
but you're not calling for groups to go stand
Yeah,
on the.
that was my mistake.
Okay. So when you're talking about soaking, we're solo soakers and that sort of thing. You're talking about the arcane orbs only,
Yes.
and not the. Okay, that
The,
was
the solo soaking, group soaking is for the arcane orbs at the transitions, and then
Okay.
the standing in the wards is a separate thing. That group, when I say group 1, 2, 3, go soak, just
Yeah.
console or go soak blue or whatever. That is the ward.
Okay.
So remember, for the little ads, you don't do anything to them except damage until they get to the center, and then after they get gripped together, then you can start doing stuns and slows and what. but we need them to not be stunned on the way there, so that they all reach the center at the same time.
So don't do any stuns until Rasmus grips them.
Until the big group jumps somewhere else. Then
I'm
you
guessing
can
he's
stun.
using me as a point, so when you see all of them go to the skull, that's when you should.
I thought it'd be convenient for your whirlwinding.
Thank you.
Four, 3, 2, 1.
I call the cursed lovers to enter the stage. Their eyes long for one another, yet their gaze incurs calamity.
Painful memories. Lightning horns. Cold blast.
There is no power I cannot defile.
Cold blast.
Blue is getting drained.
Lightning horns.
Hulk's about to spawn. They're
Torment. Overzealous help.
go and kill him.
Cold blast. Ice shard.
You are
Ground
mine.
pound. Overzealous help. Cold blast. Lightning horns.
Group 1, go soak blue. You gotta break bubbles.
Cold blast.
You are complacent. Allow me to liven the field.
Lightning horns.
I need you. Show yourself.
Cold blast. Ice shard. Heart.
Blue is full. We're good.
Heart. Lightning horns.
Big guys up.
Big.
Health. Painful memories.
There is no power I cannot defile. I hope to never glance at you again.
Cold blast. Round town.
The big guys.
Lightning horns. Overzealous health.
You
Torment.
are
Cold
mine.
blast.
Is finally free.
We're
Queen's
gonna need to
decree.
break bubbles.
You've grown complacent. Allow me to liven
Why am
the
I
field.
stuck?
You probably have the don't move one.
Someone's yelling "Get away" in the soap group.
Yeah.
I'm gonna die. Oh wow.
Go ahead and stand in a purple.
This ward with devoted blood. Given willingly from a champion's frozen heart.
First heart. First heart.
Unworthy of greatness. We return to when we lost our way. You very kind. How he was wrong. You have proven yourselves unworthy.
Even though it's a delayed start on this, it's fine to pre-pot with Unbridled Fury because it's a minute buff. So if you use
I
that
don't know if you need to
normally,
be wasting pots on these pulls right now. We're still learning.
well, we know phase 1 and we want to get it into phase 2 before the second big ad comes out. We'll do that if people pre-pot.
I marked the moon marker there is where the beckoned people will go, right? It's not exactly in the center. So that's where you'll be pulled to try to get as far away from that point as possible. And if you need to break out, if we say like break out people who are in bubbles, that's where you need to go to break them out.
Which one is the group stack area?
The group people will go to star and the
Okay.
solo people will go to diamond.
You switched it. You did.
I'm sorry, say that again. Which is which?
Group stack to soak will go to star and solo soak will go to diamond.
Okay.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I call the cursed lovers to enter the stage. Their eyes long, yet their gaze incurs calamity.
Painful memories. Lightning orb. Hold
Lightning.
There is no power I cannot defile.
Straining green. Big eyes up.
Overzealous health. Lightning orbs. Cold blast. Infuriating. Ice shard.
After we kill him, group 1 go to green.
Cold blast.
You've grown complacent.
Green's full.
Lightning
Allow me
orbs.
to liven the field.
Go ahead and soak.
Cold blast.
I need you. Show yourself.
Cold blast. Ice shard. Lightning orbs.
Big guy spawning in 5. He's up.
Overzealous health.
If we can delay having the group go soak,
Allow me to
where we have the DPS.
Infuriating. Overzealous health.
We're fine. Just do the. You have the time. Do the decree correctly. Look at what
One
you think
orb
says.
still needs soaking. Don't group on me. Don't group on me.
Solo soaking should go.
That would
close to the
be-
console.
Get away from me. God. Tejas, you should not have been standing on me.
That's on the group soak side.
Yeah, but you had stay away on.
Stay away, stay away, stay away.
No.
kneel before your queen.
Classic JKM.
Stunned me.
Okay,
Thanks for stunning us with your war
don't
stuff.
stun the ads here until
X on the ads. There's
Stun.
the grip.
now you ring.
I'm gonna wait for it.
Heart soon to be broken.
Nice. Good job. No charge on the middle.
Do you need soak some?
The void bends to life.
Yes.
I mean, yeah,
group
we should
one
have.
Reversal of fortune.
Oh, there's.
Wasn't paying attention.
Your mind control. What could you possibly been doing?
I was
Now what are we
looking
doing?
at myself. It was very exciting.
I'm guessing one should soak blue.
Okay,
Yeah,
it's
everybody-
done. So we can wipe.
Yep.
Stand in purple.
Wait, what's wrong?
We
Stand in purple.
drained a ward.
Disappointing.
So the timing for the second one is probably right after, or I guess right after you kill all the little ads, we'll expect to do the second, and then we can delay the first one if we're trying to push the bosses. I don't want to delay it until after the intermission because that's probably a bad idea. So we probably have to do it at some point during that phase. Maybe.
We can't do it right when it transitions to intermission.
Why don't you move melee out of
Yeah.
group
If we
one?
do an all range group and have you guys just like standing next to the ward and jump in as soon as it's about to transition, maybe.
Yeah, that'd probably be better.
Okay. So group 1, 2, 3, 4 looks good.
Okay, so. Oh well. I'm in a melee group. Kind
Yeah,
of.
but there's only 5 in slots in group.
Okay.
I figured you warlocks would complain if we told you to move a lot, so we're gonna put you in a normal group.
It doesn't matter. Us warlocks will complain.
Wait, was I not in a normal? I don't know what you're talking about.
You're in group 2 and not group 1, so you are fine. You'll just soak the same as the melee.
Am I in group 1?
You are in group 1
Oh,
as our most mobile healer.
Hit that ghost wolf button.
excuse me.
Feral lunge.
You should be at range and then you can horse around all over the place.
Horse
Yeah,
around.
Just use feral lunge on cooldown.
That doesn't even exist. Oh, I didn't eat my feast.
Your own feast you laid down.
There you go, DV. I put a warlock gate up for you for the
Oh,
back.
perfect. I was afraid to hit the
You can't be. I
'cause it
know
would
that
force
happens
the
to me with
back.
Ghost Wolf, and you keep the same fucking speed.
I guess I should follow my own advice and move out preemptively.
Don't
No,
worry,
but
you'll
then
just
how are you
tunnel
gonna-
now until the very last second and then still get back.
That's
I mean,
what
I'm
happens to
tunneling so
all
hard.
melee.
The wards.
Melee like to just fucking blow it
Does
up.
it target any other melee? Am I the only? Am I because it's a healer?
It
it's
targets
tar-
healers a lot.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I call the cursed lovers to enter the stage. Their eyes long for one another.
Cold blast.
Yet their gaze incurs calamity.
Painful memory. Lightning horn. Cold blast. Cold blast.
There is no power I cannot
He's draining
defy.
console. It looks like. Hulk's
Lightning
coming.
horn.
There he is.
Overzealous Hulk. Cold blast. Ice shard.
Can we get a second stun?
Overzealous
You
Hulk.
are mine.
Cold Blast. Lightning Horse.
We're gonna need to break out one bubble.
You've grown
Arcane Horse.
complacent.
Orbs are coming.
Cold Blast.
Liven the field.
Lightning Horse. Cold
Group.
Blast. Long range.
Actually, let's try to group one get ready to soak, but start being in the console vicinity.
Which one?
Don't go yet, but just be near there so you can run in as soon as these die.
Lightning Horse.
Go ahead and do it now.
Overzealous
Oh,
Hulk.
Hulk's up.
You've grown complacent.
This is
Allow
bad.
me to
Ground
liven
Pound
the
Decree.
field.
Oh god, I'm fucking stuck. Okay, never mind. We're good.
Overzealous Hulk.
Can't soak that. Someone else is gonna have to. Get away from me if you have the fucking thing.
How's everything going?
Group 2, let's soak blue.
What group are we on for soaking?
Group 2 is blue.
Kneel before your queen.
Beckon.
Here come the little lads. Don't stun them till they're gripped.
And after the little lads are done, group 3 and 4, go ahead and soak blue.
Another heart soon to be broken.
Zephyrs and Diva don't dispel till you're LOS.
The board's been to
Group
my
3, go
will.
ahead and soak.
Reversal of Fortune.
And group 4, after the arcane,
Destruction.
after the arcane group 4, go ahead and soak blue for one. And group 1, once your stacks fall off, do blue as well.
Can't do it and there's 2 people dead. I've got 30 seconds.
Yeah, just if you don't have stack. So everybody has stacks right now. Indomitable's coming in a couple seconds.
It's up.
Kneel before your queen.
This one can't be slowed, you just have to damage it.
From darkness, sirens come forth. Coax the power from these ancient wards. Rattle the chains that bind him.
Queen's Decree.
Azara is drawing upon the heart of Azeroth, feeding its energies into her ritual.
You've only just
Those
come to this
2 on the other
land.
side need solo people.
First
Here, I'll come with you.
Champions, go home. Don't
Yeah.
you, heroes? Every move you've made has been according to
Alright, let's
my
practice.
will. That lumbering dwarf believed you could save Azeroth by
Which one we doing
empowering your
first?
shiny little heart. The gift of a sleeping titan.
There's not one here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nobody's. We have like 10 seconds on stacks.
Not to heal the world, but to shatter the prison of a god.
Arcane Detonation.
Such delicious irony. The Diamond King has been made a pawn. The ritual nears completion. The Black Empire
Reversal of
rises,
Fortune.
and the world awaits its true queen.
There will be no coronation this day. Galissra, aid me. Together we can hold her here.
How did
Now
the
you
middle
will know
one
what it
gain?
means to be
Did it have
trapped,
any?
Azara.
You have proven yourselves.
Yeah, it
unworthy.
was 40%.
I wonder where I got it from. Because we killed the Indomitable and we killed all the little guys, right?
Yes.
It only had a little after the little guys, maybe 3%, 5%.
Doesn't the reversal of fortune swap the charge in the middle with one of the outside ones?
It does. It swaps the ward, but it keeps the charge that it had.
I don't know.
Does it keep the charge or like invert the charge?
It keeps it. So if the purple one was empty, when it gets swapped to the outside, it's still empty. It doesn't like fill up with whatever the yellow one had that it's replaced.
Wouldn't that mean that on reversal of fortune then, if there's like a full ward that gets swapped in, it suddenly has an empowered ward that deals tons of damage?
No,
swaps-
it literally just moves the wards.
Oh,
That's
it moves
all
the
it
ward and
does.
the charge. Okay.
I mean, if the ward of power gets energy before the third phase, we just need to discharge.
Is it worthwhile putting that Warlock Gate up again? For melee or?
For Beacon or for what?
Yeah, for Beacon. So if you guys like don't hear it right away, you got at least some chance. to
Yeah, I
get
would
out.
say like the Beacon targets that get mind controlled always start from like around here where I am. So if you put one up like here, well, but you can't click on it after your Beacon.
No, but if you're late getting out, instead of just going,
okay.
oh crap, at least you can, have half a chance to get out far enough.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Personally, I've never been targeted by Beacon. Has any like melee been?
Your
hit by-
melee, you can't be. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
That's what I thought.
But
Jake
yeah,
Mayhem is.
Okay, yeah.
and I saw Larissa was in towards where melee was that first time.
Yes, I was. And I got caught.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I call the cursed lovers to enter the stage. Their eyes long for one another.
Cold blast.
Yet their gaze incurs calamity.
Painful memories.
Be gone from my gaze!
Lightning bolts. Cold blast.
There is no power I cannot defile.
Draining blue. Big
Lightning
guys up.
bolts. Overzealous health. Infuriated. Cold blast. Ground pound. Ice shard.
Did we not get a stun off at all?
He got slowed by other things, and so he got his immunity really early.
Overzealous health.
To
Lightning
stuns?
bolts. Cold blast.
Yeah, if you use any kind of slow, it gives him the buff.
Okay.
Yeah, you can only CC him once ever.
That's really dumb.
You've grown
You have to save it for something good.
liven the field.
Lightning bolts.
I need you. Show yourself.
All Alright, group 1, get in position. Group 2, we're gonna soak. Here. So group 1, go stand near the console. Group 2, we're gonna do the blue ward. Big eyes up again.
My heart is finally.
This is bad timing.
You've grown complacent. Allow me to liven.
Group 2 still going to blue.
Round
Oop.
10.
After
Overzealous
this.
health.
Tay, you've got to stay away.
I'm not near anyone.
I draw this ward with devoted
Okay.
blood. Given willingly from a champion's frozen heart.
So group 2, let's try soaking blue.
So, how many people get stand away and soak a ward? How many people get that?
It's in the chart. I'll look it up later.
Ginger, you should have a soul stone on you.
Don't. It's really. Is it really
We got a
spirit or
couple
recap?
people
There we go.
already.
Weird, I put one on you.
Group 3, go ahead and soak blue. After this, we'll just have 1, 2, 3 refresh. It looks like we 2 didn't soak either. So after that,
Melissa need to go.
1, 2, 3.
I'll hide Melissa.
Which one?
Blue, the one next to her.
Bend to my will.
Yeah, blue's the only one that needs to be soaked. Right?
Here comes detonation. Be ready to run. And group 4, if you haven't soaked already, go do blue.
Do you want one to just?
Yes. Everybody should be doing blue, but yeah, 1 and 4 right now. Indomitables in 5 seconds.
From darkness, sirens come forth.
Did we get Indomitable or not?
Yeah, it's over.
Yeah, it's everyone.
Ancient wards. Rattle the
Alright, we're gonna get
chains that
decrees,
bind
so
him.
let's work on doing these correctly. You can ignore everything else.
Azara is drawing upon the heart of Azeroth, feeding its energies into her ritual.
I can't move, so someone's gonna have to stay with me and move.
First Arcanist indeed. See the truth now, don't you, heroes?
Smash
Every
cloak.
move you've made has been according to my will.
Soul or not
That
soul.
lumbering dwarf believed you could save Azeroth by empowering your shiny little heart. The gift of a sleeping titan. Yes.
Right now we're focusing her.
A titan's
Should be
heart is
blessing.
exactly what was needed. Not to heal the
You don't want to
world,
save it for the last
but to
phase.
shatter the prison of a god.
Arcane detonation.
Such delicious irony.
What is the benefit for staging? Is it just that when people are empowered by the console?
It's that, and just because the last phase has the enrage mechanics of the void zones on the ground, and then people getting whatever they're.
We need to call out.
Group 3, go ahead and soak the center.
There will be no coronation this day. Salisra, aid me. Together we can hold her
We're in
here.
Savage. Go line of sight,
Now
please.
you will know what it means to be trapped, Azara.
I am Azara! I was destined to rule! No force can bind me!
Alright, I'm in line of sight. I'm waiting.
Grave staff. Go ice block. Oh,
I'm dead.
Sorry, I'm sorry. Ice block was on cooldown.
Alright, so they're getting reversal, so now we would go to green, right?
Correct.
what should I soak?
We should all be soaking green now, but it doesn't really matter, but just practice.
Four, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, that spear's gonna hurt.
Oh my, it's good, it's good.
Lovers' hearts split asunder. Devoted blood spilled freely upon the sand. The song of the deep rings to call him forth.
Where does Zetter go?
Oh, there's the new mechanic. Do you see that red beam?
Oh, that looks fun.
Someone does not stand in the red beam.
Yes. You do
Is
not.
that from Lady Venom time?
You have proven yourselves.
I think that's in Zoth.
Worthy.
So it's just going to be a line. It'll be like the tentacle on Zakul, except it's much more visible because the line is all the way across the ground. So you can clearly see where it is, but it's red. Okay. So what is it you wanted? The people who have to stack and soak is what you wanted to know?
Yes. What I wanted to know, it's it's people that have to stand alone and soak, because that means there needs to be only one, maybe two people on the edges of the orb.
So this one says there's 2 solo soakers and 6 group soakers when there's 19 people.
So there can't be anybody near the orbs by purple, correct?
And
You
just
should
not
notice there's
overlapping.
3 orbs.
Yeah, if there's 3 orbs near purple, then somebody who's not one of those 2 people who's solo soaking needs to soak the third. And that can be, I prefer it not to be like people in the group up and soak group because they're going to be in near
You can be a
star anyway.
standalone person.
Yeah,
it could be a
so-
standalone person just as long as they're not a do not soak person.
It can be standalone. It can be 2 people who have, group up and as long as they don't soak, right? It can be
'Cause
anybody.
there was just a lot of people by me and Chanta, and we both had that, I think, right? Is that what
No,
we
I
both
did
had?
not have it. That's
You
why
di-
I said no. That's why I was telling you to move.
Do we each
Okay,
get 2
so you
commands?
had
I'm only seeing
standalone
one.
and soak an orb, is that correct?
Then
So
you
No,
just
I
need
did
to
not
run
have
away.
standalone. You had standalone. I had
So
soak and
then-
orb.
Okay, so you need to not be by purple.
Well, if you have Soak and Orb, if she has Soak and Orb, then she needs to. Oh yeah, you should. If you have Soak and Orb and not stand alone, you should have a purple ring around your feet. You should
You
be in
should
that
never
soak.
be, unless you have stand alone, you should not be by purple.
Yeah, so even if you have, let's just try to have anybody like the standalone and soak people reserved for, and then if you have a soak but you're not standing alone, just go to the star side, and if there's 3 on the purple side, then somebody who's not assigned to soak at all can do it.
Yeah, I also notice in my death log we have one. We should try to get the Myrmidon down relatively quickly.
Yes.
Because
It should be dead before we go in the last phase. Yeah.
Because what happened? Well, I got a charged spirit on me, so I tried to get it so to go out the edge, and then a sixth of a second later, I got arcane detonated. So I can't LOS him.
I mean,
Right.
it was fine. That wasn't the issue at all because he killed it. The second one will spawn if we take too long in phase. That was the issue. The Myrmidons will keep spawning because you need the spears to actually kill the. So it was the second one that spawned.
Okay, it's just it's annoying that you're kind of screwed one way or the other. You either LOS the boss, and then that's going to cause the spear to go to a bad spot, or you put the spear out and you sacrifice yourself to the arcane detonation.
It's very
Yay.
noble.
I would say
Well-
this is my least favorite end boss.
Well, we can't afford to have lose DPS like that though, because we won't make the DPS check then.
Yeah,
I
so
mean-
the pro move there is probably, if you get both of them, is to run behind a pillar, have a healer dispel you quickly, and then run out. But that's probably hard to do reliably.
Well, it wasn't the
You're talking about Arcane Explosion, right? Where everyone has to LOS the boss.
the detonation.
Yeah. So, I mean, the timing almost worked. I was able to like roll to safety, which I realized like warlocks don't have a roll, so that doesn't help. But I think it might be feasible.
Yeah, you have to. We'll just eat the spear if we have to, but
I mean, just
it's
go LOS. We'll avoid the spear. Like that's the way to handle it.
but it'll just hit a pillar and damage us all, which it.
Oh, that's right. I forgot it hits a stupid.
Let's hope that it doesn't murder us. You can go ahead and. I mean, I would still.
If somebody
advise-
else takes the spear, like stands in front of it, will
No,
they?
it penetrates everybody on the way.
Oh.
And also evasion it.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I call the cursed lovers to enter the stage. Their eyes long for one another.
Cold blast.
Yet their gaze incurs calamity.
Painful memories. Lightning bolt. Cold blast.
There is no power I cannot defile.
Draining green. Here comes Hulk.
Cold blast. Zealous Hulk. Lightning orbs. Infuriating. Heart. Ground pound. Blast. Overzealous Hulk.
You are
Ice shark.
mine.
Heart. Lightning orbs.
You've
Arcane
grown
orbs.
complacent.
Cold blast.
Liven the field.
Lightning orbs. Cold blast. Long range. Heart. Cold blast. Ice shark.
Group 1, move towards green.
Overzealous Hulk.
Big guy's up.
Painful memories.
He's going towards console.
Torment.
There is no
Can you get a
power
second?
I cannot defile.
Ground
She's
pound.
draining blue.
Overzealous Hulk.
Group 2, go ahead and soak blue. Or console, sorry.
To liven
Queen's
the
decree.
field.
I can't move, but
Yeah. Last one over here, soak group on this one, please.
Good job. We're taking her to blue. Group 2 and 3, go ahead and soak blue, since it's already low. If you haven't got stacks already in group 2.
Which group?
In
2 and 3.
should be in blue.
Kneel before your queen.
Devoted are coming soon.
there's two. Yeah.
Another heart soon to be broken.
Don't stand on that thing.
After these die, group 4, soak blue.
Suffering needs to LOS her to be dispelled. Somebody dispel.
He's doing it.
Done.
Reversal of fortune.
Reversal's happening. We're gonna move to the center.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, group 1 is
Group 1
about
is
to
soak
be
middle.
available. We're gonna soak middle.
Yes. Go ahead and res anyone right now. It doesn't really matter. Indomitable's coming soon.
From darkness,
Oh, she shifted again. We gotta go back to blue.
coax the power from these
Indomitable's
ancient
up.
wards. Rattle the chains
We're gonna
that
get
bind
the
him.
decrees. So practice the decrees over everything else.
Azara is drawing upon the heart of Azeroth, feeding its energies into her ritual.
You've only just come to this realization. First Arcanist, indeed. You see the truth now, don't you, heroes? Every move you've made has been according to mine.
Alright, let's take her to blue.
Something died.
That lumbering dwarf
Oh, never
believed
mind.
you
Blue's
could
not
save
clear. Whatever. We
Azeroth
just
by
gotta soak it
empowering
anyway.
your shiny little heart. The gift of a sleeping titan. Yes, a titan's heart was
5,
exactly
4,
what was needed.
3,
Not to
2,
heal the world, but to shatter the prison of a god.
Arcane detonation. 4, 3,
Delicious
2,
irony.
1.
The Diamond King has been made a pawn. The ritual nears
So if you don't have stacks right now,
The
go soak.
Black Empire
Reversal of
rises.
fortune.
Oh, never mind. She moved it.
It's true.
Don't soak.
queen.
Now we're back to the middle.
There will be no
So if you don't have stacks, you should be
coronation
soaking
this
middle.
day. Thalysra, aid me. Together we can hold her here.
Saffron, I'll come with you and I'll
Now
dispel.
you will know what it means
clear
to be
too.
trapped, Azara.
I can only do one of you at a time. Just stay here.
I should have potioned.
I
Sorry.
understand the shit. I'm very confused what's happening.
Champion, claim
So,
victory.
Go ahead and soak stacks and stand in purple.
How disappointing. Unworthy of greatness.
So one of the wards died.
5,
It didn't look
4,
like it.
You
3,
have proven
2,
yourselves
1.
Oh, I lived. That rules. Haha.
What did you do? Were you mind controlled?
Yeah, it turns out that if there's no ranged, I guess it targets melee.
I have many wares.
Go ahead and repair and we'll break now.
Many deals for a friend of the Grummels. Like you.
I don't really understand why we started taking that huge AoE damage. Didn't look like any of them died.
Good fortune to our friends.
Or was I wrong? Did one of the orb or one of the wards die?
Okay, I'm sorry, but I am not understanding the decrees. Are we each getting 2 decrees?
It's random, so you can get just one or you can get 2.
Because I'm each time seeing I have 1, but I'm hearing 1, and I don't know whether I have a second one. Is
You
there
just have
some
to
sort of
look
buff or
at
debuff
both.
that I can see?
Yeah,
Yeah, you have to look at your
show up
debuffs.
on your debuff list as red, the red hostile ones, whatever.
If you have the weak auras for the raid, you should get a square up, and inside it, it will list the 1 or 2 things you have to do.
Okay, because
So-
that time I got spread, but I was killed by Arcane Orb. I don't know whether that means I was supposed to be in it or not supposed to be in it.
I mean, if the orb killed you, it would make sense to me that you should not have been soaking. Because I think we got all of the orbs on that last pull.
No, if you took damage from Arcane Orb, it was an orb exploding.
I took a bunch of 10k damages, and then I took 100k damage and killed.
That probably was just an orb exploding.
It's just an orb exploding. You never, if you fuck up the decrees, it doesn't. The damage is something else. It's one debuff that It's shared across all of them.
Yeah, that one's called sanction.
Yeah.
So I didn't get any sanctions. So I guess I got it
Yes.
right.
So that means you followed your decree correctly. Oh, I was
Which is
going to break it.
interesting because it looked like I was pretty close to Brasmus, but apparently not too close.
Wasn't enough damage.
They fix it?
I don't know. It seems like a lot less than last time.
Yeah.
Damage gets higher as the fight goes on, so if you, die sooner, then you don't get.
We were talking about trying to kill Savage during the break.
Ah.
Does the booger slime supposedly put damage on people? Can you swallow others with your slime body?
I mean, it didn't work.
But why?
Fuck away from me.
You did more damage to yourself than you did to me. Because of
Wait,
the
what?
null barrier.
I was about to say, like, what the fuck was that?
One of my Azurite things.
Someone tried to hurt me. I'll need new
We-
health stones.
I'm struggling to target Kunishara.
All I can see is two glowing weapons on Zavish.
Checking who's back. So the second Indomitable is kind of hit or miss, but we definitely want to transition that first phase before she
Don't
does a
dispel
second.
Upper Decker. Don't dispel her.
Before
Oh!
I'll
she
live. I have multiple things I can do. I'm not good.
Shut up.
we don't want her to do a second drain award thing because that throws off all of our soak time. But this, yeah, that
With
happens if
stupid
it's
trinket.
too long.
What's too long?
If we take too long to kill the mini bosses at the beginning, she'll do a second drain a random ward. So she's guaranteed to do one all the time, and that's the one that group 1 will try to soak at the transition. But the second one, we would have to have group 2 do it, which we don't want to have to do because we want group 2 to be the first one to soak the blue ward when we tank Ashara next to it.
Eat food and also flask.
Other than that, we were definitely better on the decrees. We got through the first one, I think, without any deaths, and the second one with only a hand. Definitely better than some of the earlier ones. That second transition can be hectic because there's the bosses up at the same time, and there may or may not be an Indomitable up at the same time.
There
But
has
even-
been every time. Right when the decrees are coming out is we're finishing the Indomitable.
Yeah, that's unavoidable unless we can do more damage in that phase. But the clear, like, once the decrees go out, you should ignore damaging anything, right? And you should just be doing your decrees properly. And if you want for extra credit to throw some damage on the boss, then
Did you just stick a dot or two on her?
You know, when the small ads come out, it probably is best for Melissa and I just to stay on the main boss because our AoE on short-lived
You
ads
don't need to
is
be on it.
awful.
It's fine.
it's just for the people who have good cleave. It seems like you weren't having trouble killing them out with just one ring. Is that right?
Yeah, it's fine. Everything's fine as long as people do the rings and stuns correctly. Everything's fine. We don't. The DPS is fine. We don't need.
So those of you who want to pad, if you have the laser, the beam essence equipped for whatever
It's a
reason,
really
that's
bad
what you
essence
use
for
it.
this fight.
3, 2,
If you want to pad,
I'm pretty sure somebody beamed the fucking melee stack when they were mind control.
I call the
As
cursed
being-
lovers to enter the stage. Their eyes long for one another.
Cold blast.
Yet their gaze incurs calamity.
Sinful memories.
Be gone from my gaze!
Lightning force. Cold blast.
There is no power I
just
cannot
draining the
defy.
console one. Big guy's coming soon.
Overzealous
There he
love,
is.
Lightning voice. Pierce heart. Infuriated. Cold blast. Ground pound. Overzealous love.
Just beckon.
Lightning orbs. Cold blast. Ice shard. Pierce heart. Arcane heart.
Here comes orbs. We all soak these.
Cold blast.
Big guy's up.
Infuriated.
Should we have been
Trees are
soaking
Ground pound
something?
investigate.
Yeah. No, it's fine.
What?
Don't worry about it.
Overzealous help.
I can
I'll
solo
move
soak this
over.
one.
Hey, why you standing on
I
me?
have a solo soaking.
Oh, you and me both do. Oh.
Yeah, don't stand on other people.
Yeah, don't
when you
stand
have
on top of people if you have.
Alright, group 1, go ahead and soak the console. Group 2, let's soak green, and then we'll meet up at blue once everybody, where the boss is being taken now.
Who's supposed to soak what?
So group 1 is soaking console, group 2 is soaking blue. Or no, not blue, green, sorry. Now group 3 is soaking.
There looks like there's only one that needs to be soaked. Which one
That
should I
was
go
before
to?
that was before we charged it. No, we're fine. You can join group 3 in a second. Little lads are up.
Another heart soon to be broken.
Alright, we're going on
Okay,
left.
that's wrong. You don't do that.
I should
You
have
gotta
done that,
wait.
sorry.
Alright, group Tay and group 3, go ahead and soak blue. She's about to do reversal. Hang on, watch out. Okay, we're fine. Go ahead, keep soaking.
5, 4, 3, 2,
Savash, wait a couple
1.
seconds before taking it.
Oh, you're resting. I tabbed out.
Group 4 also soak blue. Indomitable's coming soon. Be ready to.
I like
Here it is.
here.
Kneel before your queen.
This is much easier than running
From
across here.
darkness, sirens come forth.
Blue's like emptying.
The power
Group
from
1,
these
your
ancient
stacks are about to
wars.
fall off.
Rattle
The two of you at least,
chains
so you
that
should be able to
bind
get it.
him.
Basically, everybody now, if your stacks, as soon as your stacks, then you can go ahead and soak blue.
Someone else get on me, please.
You got that.
Who else is so group? Why are there only two
You
guys?
see the truth now, don't you, heroes? Every move you made has been
That's hilarious.
according to my will.
Alright, let's go ahead and die and try again.
That lumbering
Stand in the
dwarf could save
the ward until you get like 9 stacks and then go take some damage.
Oh, I got beckoned.
a sleeping titan.
Maybe you'll live.
You have
I got
proven
murdered before I
yourselves
got
Tejas got lived.
unworthy.
Tails got lived.
He got lived.
I live again.
So, how many people are you saying have these two decrees? 1, go soak an orb, and 2, don't be near anyone.
He's
How
got a
many people?
post in the Discord.
2.
Okay, because there appear to be a lot of people that think they need to go to Diamond.
You guys can just, I mean, if you're not, the weak aura confuses you, you can just read your debuffs and do what they say.
Oh, there's a weak
You'll
aura
have
that shows both buffs now?
The main aura for Eternal Palace shows your 2 or 1 like there's a little white square, it shows up and it's like soak, don't soak, or soak and move, or not soak and move, but like move, stay together, or whatever.
You're
Yeah.
talking about a weak aura, Chen, right?
Yes, I'm talking about a weak aura. I can link
Oh,
it
yeah, I
if
need
you
to
all.
update mine. Let me see.
And so for the big guy, make sure you're not using any. I'll usually get the first stun on it, so make sure you're not doing any like displacements or other stuns on it until you see the first one go off.
Yeah, I have T25 Eternal Palace auras. Is that the one?
Yeah, I mean that's the
Yeah.
one I just linked. It might be that it's, I don't know, maybe they updated it,
I've
but
got
it
auto
definitely shows
update.
me.
Okay.
So Tay, what did I do wrong with that?
You can't
Uh,
when you do that. It actually seemed to have worked, but you're supposed to be line of sighted from Azshara when that debuff is dispelled. Because on heroic, if it's dispelled and you're in line of sight of her, she reflects it back onto multiple people. Ice block appeared to not do that, which is weird because it will do that for other types of debuffs.
It also took it off me, which is weird.
And she didn't reflect it back on anyone else, so. But anyway.
Okay, I'll make sure to do that properly. Next
Well,
time. Sorry about that.
it looks like you don't need to because you clearly were in line of sight of her.
So reading the ability, it sounds like she doesn't like put it on additional people immediately. It's like the next time she does it. So
Oh, okay. So yeah, then don't ice block until you're line of sighted behind a pillar.
Yeah, so with the decrees, because you can get a don't move, it's I guess we should actually not be close to where the circles come out then, because if
you
you're
should
in the
be
middle,
in the vicinity, but not on top of it. Yeah, because people might need to run on top of you, and if you have like don't move and also don't be near other people, then you're kind of screwed because everybody else is going to run on top of you and kill you.
well, I'll put my personal portal over here again, and we'll see if that causes it to.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I call the cursed lovers to enter the stage.
Who's trixing me? Knock it
Their
off.
eyes long cold blast.
Oh, that was actually meant for. That was
I just clicked it off.
Painful memories.
Oops.
Lightning orb.
Oh my idiot.
Cold blast.
There is no power.
Can you guys not stand inside of the fucking consoles?
Cold blast. Overzealous hull. Lightning
You guys
No.
up?
Infuriated.
Sorry, we both stoned.
I think that was my turn.
Okay, can everybody stand in purple, please? Right now. Just everybody stand in here.
Overzealous hull. Heart.
Thought you just asked us not to stand.
Lightning orb.
No,
Thank
I
you
was
for
talking to the
don't stand in
tanks. The
purple.
tanks are like,
Cold blast.
let me find a crevice here, both of us, so nobody can have any line of sight.
Yep, you need to stand on one side of the console, the other to heal us.
It's not correct. On not a single pull, I've been able to reach both of you every time. Until that one.
Could a friendly alchemist score me some intellect potion?
Sure.
That one was just the little lightning explosions, I think, killed both Savash and Bike Chen.
Yeah,
They
no, I mean, I
definitely will
ran.
stack up, and so if you take more than one, you'll probably die.
Yeah.
Who is it that need those intellect potions?
It's Larissa. I'll trade with
Okay.
you. Thank you.
Welcome.
That's a whole lot. Get some for yourself, I hope.
Ah. It is all good. I can always make more.
I am a conduit of the Nightwell's glorious power. I am Nightborn.
Let us see how you fare.
It takes
You
some real
are
stones
nothing.
to challenge the mistress
I
of
answer a
emotion.
higher call.
Well, show me what you
Do you
got.
feel that chill running up your spine?
No
the fog is
evil
rolling in.
is mine. There is only power.
Oh my god.
Well, I'm basically the Spanish Inquisition, aren't I?
Who has that guy? That's the guy from that horrible.
I got this awful Worgen boss twice in a row.
Like a pope.
Yeah, that's
Oh.
me. Archbishop Benedict. His name is Benedict, and everyone's supposed to be surprised when he's a traitor. Like, really?
There is only power. We used to make fun of the way he said power. Power.
Unlimited.
Can we get a priest mage war buff?
A cool, sexy elf lady.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I call the cursed lovers to enter the stage. Their eyes long for one another.
Cold blast.
Yet their gaze incurs calamity.
Enough.
Painful memories.
Lightning's coming.
Lightning arms. Cold blast.
There is no power I cannot defile.
Cold blast.
She's draining green. Big guy's coming soon.
Lightning arms.
There he is.
Overzealous Hulk. Infuriated. Cold blast.
Somebody.
It's like charged too early. What? That shouldn't count. That's stupid.
You are
Overzealous Hulk.
mine.
Cold blast. Lightning arms.
So what is Group
Light-
1 going to be doing?
Group 1's doing green when the transition happens.
Cold
You've
blast.
grown complacent.
Arcane orbs, we gotta soak these. We also gotta break out that bubble.
Lightning arms. Cold blast. Ice shard. Long range.
I need you. Show yourself.
Go ahead and
I
res
mean,
by
can I do it now?
do what? The soak? You can. Big guy's up, he's going to green.
Painful memories.
Be gone from my gaze.
It looks like you can do 2 stuns. Maybe not. Maybe he gets it when he wears.
Ground pound.
Yeah, that's probably it.
Overzealous Hulk.
There is no power I cannot
She's getting the
defile.
second cast off. Yeah, group 1 should have soaked green. Here comes the decree. Someday. Here it is.
Allow me to liven the
Queen's decree.
field.
I'm stuck. Oh, never mind.
Oh, I see it now. Yeah, there it is. No move spread.
Someone's still in a bubble. Alright. Group 2, go ahead and soak green and then come meet us at blue.
We will feast on your now die. Have you vermin never witnessed such raw power? I think not.
Beckon's coming.
Kneel before your queen.
3 on blue yet?
Go ahead, yeah. 3. Go on blue.
Here come the
Little
little
elves.
hogs.
Little guy's coming.
Another heart soon to be broken.
Okay, get line of sighted.
In group 4, once everything's gone, go ahead and soak
Someone
blue.
dispel old.
Get it. Do this.
To my will.
Anytime.
Just about to do detonation.
4, 3, 1, 1.
Group 1, once your stacks fall off, go ahead and soak blue. And group 2, as soon as it falls off.
Thought you wanted to do 4 after.
Group 4 should have gone already. Indomitable's coming soon.
From darkness, sirens come forth.
Yeah, if you don't have any stacks right now, you should be soaking blue.
Power from these ancient wards. Rattle the chains that bind him.
Let's hope it doesn't spawn a sister on top of it. Is Indomitable up, or did we...
Azara is drawing upon the heart of Azeroth, feeding its energies into her ritual.
You've only just come to this realization. First, Arcanist and
Someone soak with me. Oh, forget it.
now, don't you, heroes? Every move you've made has been according to mine.
Take her back to blue. If you don't have stack, you should be soaking blue.
Believed you could save Azeroth by empowering your shining little heart. The gift of a sleeping titan. Yes. A titan's heart was exactly what was needed. 3, 2, 1. Or to shatter the prison of a god.
4,
Delicious.
3, 2, 1.
The Diamond King has been made a pawn.
We should be targeting the Myrmidon and cleaving onto the boss.
The Black Empire.
Ideally, I'd like it to be the other way.
It should be the other way around. You should
It's
never.
reversed.
Okay,
Yep, we're
where are
going to
we
the
gonna
middle.
start next?
Go to the middle.
Calistra, aid me. Together we can hold her here.
Okay, go line of sight.
Now you will know what it means to be trapped, Azara.
Okay.
I got one. Oh, bad idea.
Destined
Sorry.
to rule. No force can bind me.
If you don't have stacks, go ahead and... Oh, no, she switched with me. So go back to blue. And if you don't have stacks, soak blue.
Transitioning and getting decrees.
Freely upon the sand.
She's not moving.
The soul of the deep rings to call him forth.
Do we want a lust or what?
Now you... Yes, the console is up. You should be soaking blue if you don't have stacks, and as soon as they fall off, go back and soak blue again. So blue is getting deactivated, but people's stacks are falling off in like 10 seconds, so just do your best.
Your days are done.
Here comes the gaze. And another one. Now she's back to the middle, so go back to the middle. You have to soak it. It's empty. But yeah, we don't have enough bodies.
You caught me off guard.
12%. Not bad.
I got back end.
Oh, you're gonna live.
How do I not get lasered?
I'm a bad guy.
Okay.
The line beforehand is really quite faint on the ground. Red line on the ground before the beam goes through.
It goes across the center every time, though.
Pretty clear. It's like right in like the gaggle of us there on the boss.
It may also depend on your settings.
My settings are as sparkly as possible.
I turned mine down because people were yelling constantly. And I don't want to have like 5 frame rate.
I think you can.
But that's useful on the.
Oh, that would be.
But then
That would probably also help.
But that's
Oh, that would
the add-ons are
That's
using
kind of
that
the point of the decree.
for the decrees.
That's kind of the point of the decree.
Yells at the same time.
I thought they were
so-
talking about the transmorpher
I think
yells.
they're talking about those yells. Like it's when
Yes.
everyone yells at the same time that shows. So
Yeah, I did too.
No, those are fine.
I got a don't move spread the two degrees ago.
Okay,
What
you can't
thought
you
I
can't
did?
move at all. Like as once you're frozen, which you get
I
when you
never got
don't get the
frozen.
don't moved. Oh, you should have been. You should as soon as you
I never got frozen.
don't move. You shouldn't be able to move for like 2 seconds, and then you can't move from that spot
Don't
ever
move.
again until the decree falls off.
For a bit.
So you can't
That's
move
why I
out
was-
and then stop moving.
That's why I was. Yeah, I was
I probably
asking
didn't
about
even
that.
notice I got frozen. Yeah.
There's like a little like purple circle on the ground. You just have to stay inside that.
I must have been in a stack when I got frozen and I just didn't notice it.
Maybe the speech bubble you got mistaken with someone else. No, it's a little better though. And if you're in a group and you don't have stacks and you think I should be calling for you to go soak, then holler it out like Rira did, and that's helpful because I'm not very good at keeping track of everybody. But if you noticed on that phase, the witches were up the whole time, and it wasn't really affecting the wards that they were on, right? They weren't really draining that fast compared to the one that we were tanking Ajara next. So the ward that was in danger was always the one, either the middle one that we were tanking next to or the blue one. But we'd still like that one topped off before the transition happens so that we don't get a witch spawning on top of it.
Okay, and try to keep the center one as low as possible. You're saying.
That one, it should be as low as possible so long as we kill all the ads. We shouldn't have to manually drain it. And then the last phase, it'll naturally charge up because the witches are charging and whatever, but that's just the enrage timer and
Clicking speed is slow, Brasmus.
5, 4,
Because I'm an orc.
2, 1.
I call the cursed lovers to enter the stage. Their eyes
Cold
long
blast.
let their gaze be heard calamity.
Painful memory.
lightning.
Lightning bolt. Cold blast.
You're going with that charge.
There is no power
Oh, it'll go
I cannot
outside, see?
defile.
She's draining the console.
Lightning orbs.
Big guy's
Overzealous health.
he's stunned.
Cold blast. Infuriated.
You are mine.
Second.
Cold overzealous health. Ice shot heart. Lightning orbs. Torment. Cold blast.
You
Orbs are coming.
to liven the field.
Lightning bolt.
Lightning orbs as well.
I need you. Show yourself.
Cold blast.
We got a big guy in 10 seconds.
Should Group 1 go soak console?
Yes, Group 1 soaks console now.
Oh fuck, I'm gonna die.
Decrees are coming, so don't be stacked if you can help it.
Someone needs to
Look at
come
that.
group up on me after you're done soaking, please. Thank you.
Everything's full. We're taking her to blue.
Voila.
Okay. Beckon's coming in 5 seconds.
Good job.
I ran out. Here comes Devoted.
Another heart soon to be broken.
Oh, we need to
Oh,
sell
we need to
blue.
I'm stupid.
Thank you, sir.
You want 1, 2, and 3 on blue?
Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Just anyone.
Reversal of fortune.
She's moving him, but no, we're still fine on blue. She's gonna do detonation soon.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So group 4, go ahead and soak blue. Indomitable's coming in 5 seconds-ish. Oh, nope, we got it. Good job. So group, if you don't have stacks right now, go in and soak blue to top it off.
Rattle the chains that bind him.
Azara is
Kree.
drawing upon the heart of Azeroth.
Can somebody stand with me out here? Do you see me?
You've only just come to this
Thank you.
So group, let's scoot over.
Oh, I gotta do an orb first. Fuck, I gotta do an orb first. Uh-oh, Ty.
I'm with Tay.
Heroes. Every move you've made has been according to law.
Myrmidon is up.
The Myrmidon killed me.
You could save Azeroth. Powering your
Okay.
shining
I'm not gonna.
Maybe don't take that up. Oh, never mind.
Here.
Yes. A Titan's heart.
5,
Should I?
4,
Okay. Should I onk? Do we have a res for kill?
No, I think this one's the
No,
last one.
apparently we had another one, so yeah, you should honk because we had it.
No, I'm gonna.
Not now though.
2, 1.
Oh.
Okay, afterwards.
You just lost chances. If you don't have stacks, you should be soaking blue.
The Black Empire
Reversal of
rises.
fortune.
Oh, she's switching him. Go to the middle.
Its true queen.
There will be no coronation this day. Callisto, aid me. Together we can hold her here. Now you will
Middle's
know what
fine.
it
You don't
is
need
be
to.
trapped,
You don't need to do anything.
I am Azara.
I was destined to rule.
Saffron, move a little more around the corner, or to where I am.
Split asunder.
Who's gonna
We're
need?
just moving back to
When
blue.
do we left?
On the sand.
When the first console thing happens,
The deep rings.
which is now. Go ahead and lust. Group 4, go ahead and soak blue. Gaze is coming in 7 seconds. Watch out for the red on the ground. Here it comes.
Went through mid. Safe.
Greater reversal of fortune.
She's switching to middle. We're going.
Watch out for the gate.
Overload again.
Okay.
But you must try Terran's eye. This may not be the end. Forever. And in your dreams, you must be power. The hunger that you pursue your desires.
Here comes Gaze.
Stay on target.
Stay on target.
Yay!
Buddy.
Woo!
And right at the kill moment, something got.
Oh, I didn't get fucking points or tokens on the pawn.
She wanted us divided.
Yes,
She
Rura.
kept us distracted from the true threat.
So are
You
you
guys
my
are gonna,
lover?
you guys are gonna be making out soon.
Do not relax
Want
your
to see that
guard.
shit?
Something here is stirring.
Time for the cutscene. There it
Cutscene.
is.
Same
Good
cutscene as
dental
last
work.
time.
Don't take the portal.
Didn't use like
Thanks.
I'm gonna be able to get it, but you've exceeded my expectation.
I didn't use like half my buffs I was supposed to because I'm like we're just thorning. Sorry.
See, you didn't need those gems after all.
Hot at all, man.
Me neither.
You don't need pod. You don't need Vanus runes.
We need only Zerg the boss down.
Exactly. We need the dum-dum strategy.
That's the way everybody does it.
Well, good. Let's see. We'll probably have to do it again for people who weren't here. I know, like, Baller, for one, is not here.
Boban isn't here.
Yeah, Boban's not here either, so we're probably going to do it at least one more time. But it didn't seem that bad. Once we got the decrees executed correctly, and then the last phase, you saw that, like, those wards of the witches were on were not a danger at all, right? We just had to manage the one that was near us at any given time.
I did want to ask, I posted this in the Discord, but my schedule's changed a bit, so I can't actually make raids starting next week on, let me see,